Frankie Flowers, we're sowing the seeds of love for spring right now, Frankie, and you love the fact that you're seeing a lot of young people come in asking about gardening.
Yeah, when it comes to growing your own food, it seems that there's more and more people that want to get into it, and even a lot of younger people want to get into it. I was at the garden center through the weekend, even last weekend, and I saw many at the seed racks looking kind of puzzled on where to start, what to do, and what really to be concerned with. So, of course, you can see we got tomatoes. This is the #1 plant out there that everybody loves to want to grow.
Well,
right?
Pond, so easy, S-O-W.
So easy, you get it right there. The reason why that seed there is so easy is just the coating on it. It increases the germination. But before you even get to this point where you think to yourself, should I start some seeds? You need to know, #1, do you have time? #2.
Because it takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it does take time. There's a commitment. This is a living thing.
Yeah.
So #1, do you have time? #2, do you have the space in your home to be doing all these seeds?
And the light.
And the light. And then #3, do you really need that many plants? Because when it comes to tomatoes, let's say that you're a couple of 2, you don't need more than 2 tomato plants. So the effort and time that you spend into this, maybe you should just buy a plant.
Yeah.
The #1 reason why people fail at seed starting, why do you think people fail?
At seed starting?
Yeah, what is the
Is it the
#1
wrong type of seed?
No. The #1 reason why people fail. No. Okay, think about it.
Overwatering.
If you're going to date somebody,
yeah,
the #1 reason why you would fail at dating.
I never dated enough to know. I didn't learn much.
It'd be that you did it at the wrong time or you showed up at the wrong time, right? So the #1 reason for failing in seed starting is people right now are just starting too early.
Oh.
So a lot of the times you'll look right there on the back of the pack. What does it say there?
Start indoors 6 to 8 weeks before last frost. How do you know when the last frost is?
So generally here in the city of Toronto, it's about May the 15th. So what you want to do is you go to your calendar, May the 15th, you count back 6 to 8 weeks and then mark it on your calendar. That's when I start my tomatoes.
So that's what, April, like first week of April?
You got it.
Okay.
End of March, beginning of April kind of thing there. So people starting seeds right now, if you've already done it, a little bit too early. Take, for instance, those radishes. Grab the radish on the far side.
These look so pretty.
So the upside of starting seeds is that you get really cool varieties. So you can get a cool looking radish like this. But radishes, of course, are things that need to be direct sown. And what I mean by direct sown is it means it has to go right into the garden in the spring. So these guys here shouldn't be started indoors. They should be directly put in the garden outdoors.
This one says for continuous harvest, plant weekly through September.
Yeah, so you'd be planting outdoors at the garden, and you'd be planting them in succession, meaning you plant a little bit in about late April, and then about 2 weeks later you plant another batch, so then that way you're always pulling, That's called succession planting.
Okay.
Now you said about the seed and starting seeds, of course you always want to use the right soil, you want to use a seed starting mix. A lot of the times you can use a tray like this where you're just going to be seeding them in. Ultimately what we want to do is create a beautiful looking plant like that, and this little plant right here, that guy there is...
What is that?
It's a strawberry.
Oh, it's adorable.
That's a little strawberry. Pretty soon, hi,
so
little guy.
It's so cute. So, like, how do you know? Can you mix up the strawberries with other?
That's a really good thing. Well, really good thing. A lot of the times, different plants will have different growth requirements. So if you think I can put a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit there. No. Well, some need more water, others need less, some are going to need more light. So you usually want to do one whole tray. The other part too, if you're starting seeds, you can use these little jiffies.
Those are cool.
You can see they just, they start off like this, you add water, they'll expand to about here.
Okay.
What you're going to do is once you put that seed inside, you want to always put 2 seeds. Why do you want to put 2 seeds?
In case one doesn't make it.
You got it. You got it. So you always want to put 2 seeds per that little hole that's there.
Seeds.
And then you pop them in. You put the cover on. Why would you put the cover on?
No idea.
So the cover is going to keep humidity in there. For seeds to germinate, they don't need light. They need heat and humidity. And if they get heat and humidity, the greenhouse effect, as soon as they germinate, you start to see 2 to 3 leaves. You pull the cover off, and then you put them into light, and you watch them grow.
This seems way easier and more neat a process to transfer versus this, Frank.
It's a much cleaner process.
Yeah, how do you do that
this.
with this? Because you see all the little squares. It looks like an ice cube tray underneath.
But what you got here is with the little squares that you're going to have is they'll pop out in a little tray.
Okay.
You can just cut these off and plant them right in the garden after.
Like an egg carton.
Yeah, like an egg carton. And you know what? Coming up on City Line later this morning, forgive me, we're going to be doing some seed starting hacks, and I'm going to show you how to use an egg carton when it comes to seed starting.
Hold on. So these biodegrade?
Yeah, they break down.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Frankie, we learned so much with you. For more information, at Frank Ferragini on Twitter.
And FrankieFlowers.com.
Any appearances?
Canada Blooms coming up this weekend and next weekend, and we'll be there live next week, Monday, on Breakfast Television.
That's always huge. Right now, over to Cap. Thanks, Frank.